All right, grand day, everyone. Is Shay Seeking or Shalonda, and we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna keep it moving, right? So I kind of skimmed through. We're still in Isaia, okay, and we're gonna be going into chapter 42. And I don't know why it's just random sometimes how my mind works, and so I was trying to collect the image to put as the thumbnail or whatever for this video, or just a trigger thought while we're looking at this. Because again, there's just a way, like I said, when it comes to the way that I see, it's just past, present, and future, historical. Uh, when it comes to the no historical, biblical, and just what, like, being clairvoyant and using discernment with the things again that are going on in the current times, and in a way being able to weave it all together so we can just have some insight. And again, by doing it this way, people will be able to actually not see. I don't want you to see what I see, you see what I'm saying, or think what I think. I just want people to see that there is a different way. That again, we've been misled in some of these indoctrination stations to see things in a very layman's or altered false narrative or notion with a false perception. And that's just it. And that the real work, again, should be being done within ourselves in order to see the world more clearly. And so that, and it has no color, no age, no race, no, you see what I'm saying? It's just is what it is. And that's leading us more towards the truth. But there's more people, there are some individuals that are opposed to truth. So it's offensive. Again, I cannot sit here and try to, again, please or appease everyone and their likings. It's like when you're doing this kind of work, somebody gonna get offended. Somebody about to be upset, and it ain't gonna be me, because what I'm trying to do is just share the truth. The word, okay, this construct feels as though, again, and some of these particular gods feel as though they can go in and expose the deepest, most sacred, okay, memories and views and the deepest thoughts, in some of our, minds when it comes to mining, and so, I mean, if this is your first time on the channel, you could probably, go back a couple videos just to get caught up as to why I'm talking. Like I've been forced to. I mean, a part of it is the part of the craft or the art of this, but a part of it, I've been forced into somewhat of a box that I cannot. Okay. I'll even say like a crate or something, because the crate still got holes in it. You see, because it's going to still leak. It's going to still come out. It's just, there are certain energies, again, that prefer not to hear. Not because, it's offensive. Some because they offended about something personal that they do or are, have going on in their life. And they feel like, oh, we can go and pick through and sift through and watch through your most personal moments and what you do and what you speak about in the privacy of your home. But again, how dare you say something about this thing? And it's just a general, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. Listen, when it comes to sexuality on this platform, like I told you already before, nothing, because again, I question sometimes if some of this stuff is chopped up to make it look some kind of way or warped. But just to get things clear, I am considering myself to be just, I'm just going back. You can't really get mad at me. Let's look at the words. The words here is talking about androgynous beings. It's talking about, man and woman, him, husband and wife, male and female, Adam and Eve, so again, these are not my preferred terms to use. It's just what we have to work with. So I'm me. Let's just go back to basics real quick. Let's just go back to basics, the basic building of nations. And see, part of this wasn't natural. what happened when it came to civilization colonizing areas. It wasn't natural. So it might have been before, but it's not stemmed in that when it comes to the certain construct. Some things are blotted out and some are not. But then we wonder how we get to a certain point where, again, people will look at society as being chaotic and corrupt when it comes to sexuality. Well, where did that stem from? You see? And why are some things hidden, but some people feel it's necessary to expose others? Why is information about some people hidden, but some people choose to expose others? Why? Well, it's a defamation of character. It is to actually, what I feel is going on is somebody was offended by something, so they figured they could do some kind of payback. And then in tune, this person maybe was feeling some kind of way about that, but then they see that, this is all some kind of game or it's being done out of spite or envy. And, it is what it is. Nobody's going to change the way that I think and the way that I see. This is a gift that's been given to me by what I say is my creator. And so, to be able to see these things, this is a part of that plan in order to bring order to the court. So a lot of us had to be hurt or broken or maybe disapprove of something that was. And and that's just the way it is. Same thing how I feel. But I feel like I have had to suffer the most. And I'm pretty sure some other people out there feel the same way. Okay? So when it comes to what I think, since it seems people may want to know, I prefer to have, and it's not nobody's business really even. When I talk about masculine energy and feminine energy, we all carry these traits inside of our vassals. Sometimes we have to tap into certain energy in order to pull from a more masculine energy. Most times it's just a feminine energy that I'm in, but when it comes to my warrior mode or my mentality, when it comes to fighting for myself, or when I'm being backed into a corner, I have to react. That other part of me that is more of a strategic warrior, okay, a protector, that essence of me comes out. This is not saying really anything about my sexuality, because really that's nobody's business. What I do behind closed doors is my business. What you do behind closed doors is your business. I don't care what you consider yourself to be in the long list of what we can so-called be these days. It'll never change that men and women have children together, that two of them. It takes two to tango, and that's what, allows that to happen. Now, should that affect people's so-called sexuality? No. As long as you're not harming children, I don't care what nobody do. And I don't judge nobody for it. And it's your business. It's just me being someone who is trying to deliver a message to people, have to try to I stick to the truth. Doing that, I have to deliver the message as clear, right, as possible. That's it. That's it. And I feel like just like anybody, whatever is displayed publicly is a free-for-all. Whatever people see on the surface, it's messed up, but that's sometimes how it is. Whatever I display on the surface, okay, this is why I try to present myself a certain way when I am coming on here, because I don't know who, if a child or a teenager might be watching a video. That's why I've been doing it the way that I've been doing it in public. The part that I choose to share with you is what I share with you. That doesn't mean that I'm not being myself because I'm at what I would consider work, okay? Delivering something. I'm not going to wear, you know what I'm saying? Most times, like if you have a job and you're someone that works in a place and you're like a delivery person, you're going to have a uniform or something that you put on. They're going to say, when you get that job, we expect you to be polite and say thank you and say, the name of the company when you knock on the door. There's protocol. There's things you're going to do. So again, working for yourself or being someone who is, in a sense, I ain't working because I ain't getting paid, but I'm just saying, working for yourself or working for the people and presenting something, there's a certain way to go about it, right? I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to I might have to leave behind parts of me. Okay, how I would usually joke around and talk with my friends and stuff like that. I may leave that behind for a little bit while I'm on display, sharing something. Okay. And I know people can be kind of intrigued about, oh, is this person like this in real? But if I didn't choose to show that to you, how dare you, again, like I said, violate my privacy and expose me to the world? And I don't care if we talking about telepathically when it comes to any kind of gods. I don't care if we talking about, tech. I don't care what we talking about. I don't care if we talking about people that's just hating and want to find out information because they want to be you and they want to do what you do and they want to know what you know. I don't care who is talking about. You have no business going into my personal life. And if you're offended by something that I said, well, I thought that I was talking to myself in the privacy of my own home, my car, or anywhere else that I am, then that's your business. You need to be mad at what you heard. Don't be mad at me for what I said. And it still won't change. I'm going to be true to myself 24 hours a day. So it's still not going to change how I feel about the situation. It's still not going to change how I see it. So it's not meant to be offended. But if you offended, then that's just what it is. Nobody has no business, because then I have no private thoughts. I have no private nothing to talk amongst myself if someone is monitoring me 24 hours a day and then giving that information freely to whoever. You see? So again, it's about this whole defamation of character, and so that they can make people look at you in a certain light before you even get a chance to present yourself and your work to the world. It's all a part of the plan. And it is what it is. I don't even like to call myself a historian. I research history, and I this biblical text and the psychology and the ways of the world where we are now. And I look back to see how we even got here. I like to go back to the root of things. That is it. It's offensive. People don't like to hear about the stuff all the time, but it just, and really, it don't even have nothing to do with races or groups. It's about the way the infrastructure has been put together. It's not the police that's actually, see, now y'all got me about to go all up on the end of this tangent. What I'm saying is, you always got to go back to the root of things to get to the bottom of it. That's how you get to the bottom of it. So when I'm talking about these things, doesn't necessarily mean that it is my full scale beliefs. It's a part of what the truth is, and I am just a deliverer of what I feel like that is. And I try to put it in the most open, nicest terms. But again, somebody gonna be mad all the time, and I always look at it. My mama used to say, "Yeah, somebody gonna be mad, and it ain't gonna be me." So again, it's not gonna be me, because I'm gonna be wanting to deliver what I feel like is the truth, what I feel like the message is every time. I'm not gonna bend it to make me look good. I ain't gonna bend it to make nobody else look good, or because somebody else's feelings is hurt, or because I feel some kind of way and I'm salty about what I just read, and I know I got to work on something or change my ways. It don't matter. It is what it is. If I have to recant or go back on my word, I've always said, hey, this is what it is. I feel like, man, maybe we was going with this way. It's just the way I do it. Okay? So, I'm just noticing this whole thing going on. It's just like, oh my goodness, like enough is enough already. So again, in the end, I don't lose nothing if I don't lose myself by trying to please everybody else. And that's how I look at it. Or censor myself. The only thing is it's people that think that they are able to censor you. Yeah, they may be able to do that on the physical realm, but it's going to turn around. And you know what? Like I said, they may think that they can do that on this physical realm, but we will see how it all works out. Okay? Let's go ahead and go into text. Let's go into text. Like I said, I don't have anything against anybody and what they like to do with whoever they want to do it with behind closed doors. When it comes to children, I have a problem. If somebody is harming children, I have a problem. And if I lose anybody that disagree with me with that, then I wasn't supposed to be around you never in the first place. People change. People have been tried through the fire. Okay. You see what I'm saying? People change. We've all done things in the dark. We've all have things tucked away, that we work on or we fix or we heal or we acknowledge and just say, hey, never again, and move on. Nobody is perfect here. Even gods and goddesses. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect here. Even God of the Bible. These gods of the Bible. Nobody's perfect. There's all kind of mistakes that have been made. I don't dislike anybody for who they are or how they express themselves. That is it at the end of the day. I won't talk about it no more. What I do behind closed is my business. Closed doors is my business. And that's just what it is. I just been me. I've been in a marriage for 20 something years, in a relationship with that person for 30 something years. Okay? But again, this year has brought forth things, and that's just it, that are altering our lives. A lot of things have to do with, again, spiritual things that have been going on. A lot of things are just things that were, things are changing. All kind of stuff changing around here. There's a lot of things that are changing. A lot of things that are happening that, people really, again, even me, a lot of times don't even understand. It's just happening, So, people, realize at some point, sometimes you have to walk away from things, people. But one thing I ain't going to walk away from is the truth. And one thing I ain't going to be doing is standing on it. When it comes to providing a service to the people. Okay? So again, it's not people and that's the thing. People be talking about, feelings, everything. Get up out of your feelings. We got this, and it seems like it should be easy because a lot of people we dealing with are heartless, soulless beings. Are just about death and destruction, spiritually and physically. And got the nerve. You see what I'm saying? Got the nerve because they have the power, potential, and platforms to do so, and the protection to do so, to just do whatever the hell they want to do around here. And I just don't see how people can't see. I mean, are you that silly? Are we that far gone? It can't be. It can't be. Because people know real deep down inside that is wrong. But what they feel like on the surface, because maybe that person said something that bruised their ego or bruised, some way they see themselves. They took it as a personal. It wasn't never supposed to be, but they took it as a personal attack. And that's why I don't know. Maybe I'm just different because I just don't see it like that. Some of the things that I thought would break me into a million pieces that I figured out this year by being able to see the invasive nature that people have. Well, I don't even want to use nature because it's not even natural to do it. Okay, the invasive way or approach that people have come into my life, I thought I'd bet damn had a heart attack. But it is what it is. What can I do? I love myself. If you look at, what I'm saying? If you peeking, if there's a peeping Tom or, somebody dipping into my Akashic record, it is what it is. Did you enjoy what you found? You see what I'm saying? Ain't gonna change the fact that I still can see. It ain't gonna change the fact that I can still see you for what I see. Yeah, some things is cloudy, but we making our way to the top, peeking in. So let's go ahead. All right. And I'm hoping that care. Everybody's, oh, leave it alone. Ain't nobody else gonna be able to be saved. I just ain't never been able to really. It might have hit me for a second, but I'm just like, nah, we just gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving till the wheels fall off. Why? Even if it's just one viewer. All right, y'all. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what we see today. All right. So, actually, and again, I'm not saying that this image have nothing to do with this. It's just when I seen it, the visuals gave me something, and so I'm just using it. Well, even though this is the same kind of hat here, that we see on the was it North Carolina or South Carolina seal. That's the same kind of hat there that the lady had on that stick, remember? And is this staff or whatever. I'm just wondering, what does it say? France and colonial, what? Kala. I don't know if that's Colombia. Okay. Oh, okay. I noticed these are heads down here at the bottom on the ground, and they have their feet on it. It's just something that get me lost in images like this forever. I mean, I might even just start just doing these images here. But you got the sun, the symbolic nature of the sun there. You have that type of hat, even though it's like it reminds me of the Smurfs. The hats that they wore on the Smurfs. But, I just wonder what else it might represent. So much symbolism. Okay. So again, excuse me, it's just the woman, the energy I'm getting from it, and the positioning of these things for some reason that I'm choosing these particular images. And I have a couple of them. We'll just flip through as we go. Okay. But let's see. All right. Because she's looking like a lordess here. I'm getting some lordess energy here. She's got a staff in her hand. I'm getting, I see the bushels of wheat or whatever these branches are that are here. The palm, maybe. Okay. You see her cup. Are we dealing with a queen of cups? I don't know. They here with the sword. Okay. She's bare-breasted. Most of these women, like I said, usually are. All right. So again, we're in chapter 42 of Isaiah, and it says the servant of the Lord, and it says, here is my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen one, with whom I am pleased, upon whom I have put. See, now again, this is making me think about the two and y'all knew what I thought about when we did that book, when we were doing the book, The Spring, the two trees I showed y'all the pictures of in the backyard. Those are trees that my neighbors all want me to cut them down. And I'm thinking like, nah, this is something going on here in the spiritual realm here with these two trees here. They're right there behind my house. I love to tell y'all some things. Everything do happen for a reason. I'm actually, and I was reading something about, we won't go there. If I can find the book, The Spring, we're going to go back into it, because I think I need to go back in just to see how far we've come with this so-called prophecy that was supposed to happen 100 years later in the very same spot. Okay? Like, I just want to look at it again, just go back into it and look. Okay? But let's keep going. Okay? So my chosen one, whom I am pleased, upon whom I have put my spirit, he shall bring forth justice to the nations, not crying out, not shouting, not making his voice heard in the street. Okay. A bruised reed he shall not break. You know what? I'm just looking. For some reason, my eye just went to this. I wouldn't call this a reed, but this leaf here. You know, that's coming out towards her. That's pointing towards her head. I don't know. That just caught my attention for some reason. All right. And a smoldering wick he shall not quench. So again, a smoldering wick he shall not quench. So again, when you talk about a smoldering wick, something that's dying out, or something that is, we can just say that something that's dying out. It's losing its, and for what? Is it the forces around it that are trying to dampen it? Or, you see, or is it naturally, dying down? Usually the candle wick doesn't naturally just die out. Something comes along and messes with it and has it dance or get higher or lower or start to go out, moisture, air, something like that. That puts it out. It's usually naturally just a strong burning thing all the way, until he establishes justice on the earth. Okay? The coastlands will wait for his teachings. Thus says God, the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spreads out the earth with its crops, who gives breath to its people and spirit to those who walk in it. And I, the Lord, have called you for the victory of justice. I have grasped you by the hand. I formed you. So again, like when I'm even reading this whole thing about being formed, it's almost like there's an energy here, right? That is actually, of forming something. You can form something mentally, like a forming an opinion. You can form something physically when it comes to, dressing it up. You could, in physical attributes, you can form something by pouring things into something. See, changing the makeup of it. There are many ways of forming things. And so it doesn't mean that, and now in the fact that they're talking about a bruised reed here, it doesn't mean that somebody didn't find a god or a goddess or a certain, individual or being. And that they were what it's almost like that I am, right? But you may need to be poured into. There might be, like even we're talking about the chakras and things like this, when it's talking about working on those particular things that are inside. Okay? That's forming. Someone may be stuck in this place or that place. And then again, I feel like the all or source or the universe or the ether, right, may be sending in the cosmos, whatever, may be sending in that or other individuals even on this plane. Sometimes we talk about soul connections, right? Somebody that you identify with, whether you even know them in real life or not, that helps fine tune something. You see? And so, again, this whole thing is about remembering. Yes, so that we can move out of the past because we identify with it properly, and then we can move into the future with a new way of seeing things. Some people don't have to go in the past. Some of us are doing this work because this is the work that we're bringing, it's our craft or whatever, right? But other people may just be able to turn around. Hopefully we're doing the work so that that can help you do that. It's not just keeping you in your feelings, keeping you arguing, keeping us doing debates, keeping us, doing these things that's on the surface. They're not really dealing with the core. It's not dealing with the core yourself, of society. It's not dealing with the heart of America. Again, and that's why, again, if we want to say it in a spiritual, symbolic way, that's one of the main reasons of death is heart disease for the so-called black woman or the original American woman. Okay? Think about that. We ain't even got to do all that. We don't even have to go into heart surgeons and talk about this and talk about that, because most of the time that's not working, is it? Because they are still dying of it. So there is something else spiritual, because we are a spiritual people. A natural people. There's something else that's lacking there. There are other attributes to this than just the things that got you in your feelings, that surface level thinking, and that surface level way that we're looking at the world. And this is why we don't get nowhere. And somebody knows this. It's just their last thing they want you to do is be in to yourself, or being in tune, or being dialed into that. Because once you're in tune with that, there's nothing nobody can come and do to remove you or remove that candlestick from you, because you done found it. You done figured out it been there all the time. Hey, I might have needed somebody to help me light the match. Thank you very much. And I was just thinking about that. Thank you for making me a woman song, right? So it's thank you. I appreciate. Hey, any of the energies that I've dealt with, you already know. Or beings here, or my soul siblings. We'll just say that. If you inspired or triggered thought, just like somebody inspired this image that I put up here, right? The first image that I had up. I don't want to say the name because, again, anytime I am in, say a name or something like it, just seems like things change. So again, if they're watching this, again, gratitude to everybody, because again, I still seeing these things on a daily basis, it kind of like triggers that memory. Like in the movie The Fifth Element, when they showed that lady. They showed the girl the video, and I might have said this before, but I like to just say the same thing so y'all can just see it, how it is, right? But there might be some newer people that come in. That's how it is, just seeing that flash of that stuff and just feeling that. Being like that whole empathic energy that a lot of us deal with, and a lot of people don't understand that can leave you, stagnant to this world, and you will withdraw from this world, but it brings you deeper and closer to that within you. And so you're never lonely. People think, oh, that's a lonely life. This person must be feeling so bad because they just sit there and no, it's very fulfilling. It's very, I might not be going to the heights of where everybody else is going or doing whatever, but it's very fulfilling. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop rambling. Let's get to it. Okay. But anyway. All right. So again, until he establishes justice on the earth. So this is making me think about divine masculine energy, right? Maybe stepping into something or seeing something some way, and stepping into a position, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like that. I mean, and again, when I say me dealing in that masculine energy, like I said, that is what it just is. It's not about the physical. It's not always about, sexual intentions and things like this. It's more, I don't know. It's like all that leaves out, I feel, when we're dealing with this type of energy. I feel like it can relate or reside in vessels, and that's just what we're looking at. It's just, these are just, again, what they call them, meat suits. All this stuff, this is not, this is me, but it's not me. So who cares if somebody think I'm fat? Who cares if somebody think that I'm ugly? It's about what I think. First, about my soul, my heart, and the way I treat people. Okay? Even if they think it's cold. A lot of my immediate family been like, oh, you kind of, no, I'm just straightforward. That's just what it is. And hopefully you take that somewhere with yourself one day. I don't mean to come off some kind of way, but I know one thing, I'm there when they call me. I know one thing, better not nobody touch them. I know one thing, when I do have time for my grandbaby, I'm with my you see, so again, nobody can take that away from me. Nobody gonna try to make me look some kind of way, even if they convince the whole entire world that I'm some kind of way. I know who I am. People should take that energy and start mining or digging into themselves and find out what's missing with them. And I mean, I think some people are already going to be forced to, or they already are. It's all part of the plan. Again, from the looks of it, when it comes to this text and prophecy, some of us didn't even have a choice to do the things that we did or go through the things we had to go through. Not even your choice. So what you mean? I'm acting like this because of this, and that. Well, you know what? No, maybe because this is just my life. When they used to tell like, oh, God know everything and he done marked out all the steps or whatever. And I'm like, then ain't none of this stuff my fault then that I did. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, like a young-minded person thinking that way. But then if you go back to your youth, that's when a lot of stuff made more sense. That's when you were so blunt. Just going back to a child. And I think that's another thing why people, again, may around you that might know you when it comes to the people that are the elect, right? Because they looking at you like you think you all that. No, maybe you think I'm all that. I'm not going around thinking I think I am exactly who I am. Nothing more and nothing less. Until I come into these revelations or these unveilings. So I think that's another thing that strikes people. It's like appalling because a child can say something that might hurt your feelings. I done said things to adults when I was a child that might have hurt their feelings, and I used to babysit, and so I've been around children for a long time and they've said stuff that hurt, but it don't change the way I treat that child. And see, that's another reason why, I just didn't never trust to leave my babies around nobody. But I know myself and I know you don't have to worry about it. If your baby come over here, your child gonna eat before my child. And they might look at us saying, Mom, you eat all the time first, all the time. When somebody's child in my presence, I don't want them to ever feel like I'm being shady. I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? I just never, especially when it comes to little kids. When it comes to teenagers, I'll be looking at you like, not up in here. Or, I don't even want that person over here. I don't like their energy. But I'm talking about when we're talking about little children, okay? When we're talking about little children. I never wanted nobody's child to feel like uncomfortable or nothing around me, because that molds, and maybe because it was done to me, But what are we talking about? We're talking about that way of thinking as a child, and they don't care. There's no censor. They're not trying to hurt you. I have to tell my daughter that, and I had to tell my oldest daughter because she's real soft or whatever. She's real sweet. And one of the little kids in the family said something to her one day about her weight or something, and it upset her or whatever. But I was just saying that's just how children are. It's just something. Goodness. Okay. It's something that's so innocent, but it might again hurt your feelings. So I feel like becoming like a child again, also, with some of us that again are chosen or elect or whatever. It's kind of abrasive or whatnot, how you come off, and people don't really like that, or they look at it as arrogance or ego or all these things, when you really just doing what the word said, becoming a child again and just telling it how it is. Even sometimes about your life when you don't even really want to, you don't feel like you have to, or nobody need to know. You see, you got to go there too sometimes. Or some people don't have to. Okay? I mean, there's a different level to this for everybody. Okay? Some people are not going to, go through that much scrutiny, and some people, may. Okay? Some people is by design, and some people whatever. Okay? So, okay. Anyway, okay, y'all. I noticed I've been talking all this time. We ain't even getting nowhere. Let's keep going. All right. Thus said the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, and who spread out the earth with its crops, who gives breath to his people and the spirit to those who walk in it. I, the Lord, have called you for the victory of justice. I have grasped you by the hand. I have formed you and set you as a covenant of the people, a light for the nations. Okay? I mean, this kind of reminds me of this image. To open the eyes of the blind, to bring out prisoners from confinement, okay? And from the dungeon, those who live in darkness. I am the Lord. This is my name, my glory. I give to no other, nor my praise to idols. Okay. So this individual is saying, I give, and I don't give my praise to idols. So in this case right here, it would just be someone, right? Or someone that see things for what it is. When it comes to America and again, imposters. So I would think that in this day and age, and I'm talking about just standing in that energy, in that frequency, and in that sense of knowing. And in that case, who, you see, and it seems like a challenge or if I'm being cocky, but no, it's saying, then who can move me? Who been able to move me this whole time? I don't care if it is just one viewer over here, for real, which I know is a lie. It is what it is. At the end of the day, if I got to walk on eggshells, it ain't going to happen. Especially when I know that it's coming from the heart and it's coming from source, then I ain't got nothing to worry about. If people decide to keep doing what they're doing to me or others in that manner, they'll be dealt with. And that's just what it's going to be at the end of the day. Why am I going to worry? Seem like source is pleased with me. Now we got gods with a little g. When we talking ye are gods, we got God, we got gods, and we have other beings. What I look like? We got, there's ways. There's ways. When we're talking about ancestors, angels, guides, there's ways for the word to get around. So the more you block it over here, don't even trip. Don't even trip. To bring out prisoners from confinement and from the dungeons, those who live in darkness. I am the Lord, this is my name. My glory I give to no other, nor my praise to idols. See, okay? So again, this time about this is the Lord, not God, but the Lord, okay? All right. All right. This person saying, I'm not giving my praise to no idols. I got you. You see? And then at this point, I can't see who. And maybe because it's not just who. What? See, the earlier things have come to pass. So things have been done. All right. I don't hold no grudges about nothing. Obviously, some people do, and sometimes we do hold some kind of spite or something like that. But people can be turned around. People can be tried through the furnace. People can have a change of heart. People may hate your guts and then meet because what everybody else said or what they thought or maybe in one little tiny misunderstanding and then can meet you and that whole thing can change. Y'all, you can end up being best friends forever or more. And sometimes we can get lost in what everybody else says and feels and thinks. But always I take that time to go back up in here, many times throughout the day. Dealing with the core. Because there's always so much more, you know? All right? So again, see, the earlier things have come to pass. New ones I now foretell. Before they spring into being, I announce them to you. You see? So like even when we're talking about this type of energy, hold on one second. Okay? All right. So, that's just like even like the good tidings or whatever, or just speaking these things in real time, freestyling this type of information. Can you imagine that? And then now, and as you feel like somebody's trying to put a damper on or put a blanket, people are panicking now, and they want to put a blanket. Or they're just trying to race against time. Do they want to let the enemies after you? They want to let the people that look like you after you, so that they can take what you got. Do they want to do this? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? But whatever it is, there will be judgment. So people just need, and this is why I'm not going after nobody right now, but myself. That's who I want to go after, because I want to make sure that everything all right with me again in that time. I don't even know who got time to sit there and got. Only reason why I bring this garbage up is because I know that it's involving me in some way. And if I don't say nothing, what do you do? If you don't say nothing, what? But again, at the end of the day, it's gonna be all right. Things gonna be straightened out. So, it just is. Okay, now listen to this here. In these footnotes here. Okay, so here's the footnotes from 44, 46, 47. Okay, so again, a redeemer in Hebrew, a goal, or it's spelled Goel, a goel. One who frees another from slavery and avenges his suffering. Okay, so again, it's almost like a lifting up. It's making me think about that. A hand being reached out, and it's funny how we're talking about hands in here, and how hands are a big part of this awakening for me. Hands reaching out have been in visuals, so, but you can't see which one. So sometimes I've been smacking I've been smacking these hands out of my face like, because I don't know, So again, to try or test the spirit, okay? All right? Or you turn your back and say, I don't need that, But again, you never know. Time will tell, and things will change, right? Okay? And avenges his suffering, okay? So even maybe like somebody has a change of heart in this time. I mean, that's what I feel like I see already. Okay? It says a servant. There are 3 other servants of the Lord, oracles. Okay? I'm just reading right through. I'm not going to say Isaiah 49, 1 through 7, 54 through 11. I'm just going to say what it says here. Many identifications have been proposed. Hold on. Okay, making sure. Have been proposed. Historical Israel. Okay, historical Israel. Historical Israel. Ideal Israel. An Old Testament historical character before or during the lifetime of the prophet himself, the New Testament, the Christian tradition. Okay, however, have seen a fulfillment of these prophecies in Yeshua Christ, refers to the mercy of Christ, coastlands, okay, the lands of the Mediterranean. Again, I feel like this has something to do with the southern portions of the Americas. Sometimes I even see it in the Midwest pertaining to the Great Lakes. I was about to say Great Lakes. And then the crest that's down there, which I think is the crest of the real crest of civilization that was in, the Mesoamerica area, okay, in between, Mexico and, like Florida, the Panhandle or whatever it's called. Let's see. Okay. In the Old Testament, the word often refers to pagan lands. Okay, again, pagan lands. Now, pagan lands also, all right, pagan lands are also just pagan. Just basically means what people was doing before colonization. They have to do with nature. So, of course, to the people that was coming to conquer, some of that stuff would have been gruesome, or some of that stuff, or was it really they protecting themselves? Same thing with our cries from the earth that, again, were going on prior to this nothing that came through, okay? That's what we call the vid, okay? The nothing. So considering the fact of this nothing coming through, before and during that, the uprising had already started prior to. So this whole restricting and everything of voices, of movement, of all of this stuff was just for some ones to get some things into play. They already kind of knew where people stood. Were you a truther? Were you this? So it was already to categorize the individual so we can go into this more of a social credit system, right? So again, if you go this way, you may be going to jail. You ain't even got to go to literal jail. It's a mental prison or something someone can put you in, and people thinking, oh, you deserve that because of no. But no, you were getting that because sometimes you were telling the truth and you didn't want to, again, be conformed into whatever, again, these people want you to be some kind of, some people on this plane want us to be some kind of, mind dead, robotic, zombie force of, and again, in that instance, they can also use that force to come against those that don't want to comply with certain things that are ridiculous, actually. And so, I mean, if we just think about that, and are we dealing with some type of draconian measures? I'm just wondering about these things. Okay. All right. So, but that's just what pagan is. That's just what it is. And so it sounds scary to you because you looking at the orthodox, or you're looking at the religious factor, okay? Which is a form of indoctrination. It trains you. Education trains you. It doesn't lead you to form your own opinion. Somebody else is forming it for you. And that's the scary thing about right now. I think that people are hosting, and, some of your thoughts may not be yours. And it may be slowly going away where that person is gone. I can look at people now and see, they looking at me like some kind of way, but I'm looking at people like they gone. And it's going to take something, maybe piercing the heart or something to even open the mind back up to, ooh. I just feel like that's what it is. Okay, historical character before and during the lifetime of the prophet himself, the New Testament and the Christian tradition, however, have seen a fulfillment of these prophecies in Yeshua Christ. And again, this is what it says, or Jesus, okay, refers to the mercy of Christ. The coastland, the land of the Mediterranean. In the Old Testament, the word often refers to pagan lands of the West. Oh, okay. So again, even looking at that one image of that woman, that also does remind me of some things that I've seen, the attire on some of the cultures or the groups of the Indians or Aborigines in the Americas. Let's even think California. Again, we did a couple videos on that back in the day. And then there was some stuff I think I didn't even upload, to be honest with you. A lot of breaking down of that coat of arms as well. Okay, hold on. So cedar, footnotes of Isaiah, okay, Selah, okay, Petra, the capital of Edom, okay. So again, the capital of Edom. And I was just thinking about that, Esau and Jacob, or how God hated one and not the other one. I was going to go back to it because I feel like I have a new view somewhere on there, and I just don't be having time, y'all. Because of their unbelief, the Lord rebukes his people, whom he calls his servants. Okay, so again, now the Lord rebukes his people, who he calls his servants and his messengers. So this is just what he called. That don't mean that they are the Lord's, right? Okay, even though he could be, they could be the messengers in these particular things of him. Because again, it's almost that whole thing of no one can get to God but through me, right? But then at some point in time, when somebody, when was it? When Christ supposedly died on the cross, what could also just mean been slew or cut off, right? All right, and that's why we're going to talk about this whole thing that got to do with Medusa here. Because are we talking allegorical, symbolical? Could I say physiological? Or would that just be making something up? Okay. All right. We're going to keep going because this is what we're going to talk about. Okay. His people whom he called his servants, his messengers. Again, his people. So now it turns into the Lord's people. Now I'm just trying to figure out, did God get cut off somewhere here? And is it because one of these lords was saying, you can't get to God but through me? You see what I'm saying? And so now by the time this happens, all the stuff that God has put together, somebody's not giving every word out of the mouth of God. They're giving the portion that they want to give to make God look a way that they want people. See, this is why I don't like the middleman. I just cut the fucking middleman out. And that causes you to also lose, I feel, certain, it's kind of like a freeing thing. It's kind of like a freeing thing because I can't, if somebody then maybe this is why I don't get the rule book because they know I ain't going to pay attention anyway. This is a form of art. It's a form of something. How dare you mess with my words and tweak them to try to make it seem some way, and you be the funnel that takes the word to the certain people that could help. And see, that's what I'm saying. So that's when are we dealing with a joker or trickster mentality, again, that has now done this thing to, again, try and contaminate or, again, defamation of character. So if this person don't let me come with, then I'm going to make sure that I be the rock that smashes them down to the ground and ends anything that could have been saving them in the first place. And can you imagine being a female energy dealing with gods? Can you imagine being the mother of all gods and sitting in that energy and dealing with these babies, these sons and these daughters? Could you imagine? Could you really just imagine? And then you remembering all. Could you imagine? They didn't put you to sleep. What it say? Yahweh used the plagues of the locusts, which blot out the midday sun. Oh, blot out the midday sun. Okay. Oh, so yeah, to like blot out the midday sun. So don't they say the sun is the hottest or the strongest at noon? So again, it did make me think, every hour on the hour? I don't know. Darkness from the sandstorm. Again, this makes me think about the desert storm. And low key, what are we really talking about when we talk about Afghanistan and Iran and things? What does it symbolize for we always wonder why we always worried about all these kind of things more than here. Does it symbolize something, like I said, that's going on with this spiritual warfare that's going on in this land? And this land, the death of the first horn to blot out the eye of the land, which was called the eye of Ra. And Ra sent his daughter Sekhmet, didn't he? So again, this whole thing is a blotting out. And I really believe that there are people in certain, in the spiritual kingdom, we'll just say it like that, okay, that could be also in vessels that are on this worldly plane, okay? I think there's actually people that, again, are going to be leaving. They're trying to figure out, again, when we're talking about different energies here, the ancestors and guides and, those who are sitting in places now. I think some people, again, are maybe going to be on their way out. And there's some people, and they're looking for the proper children to take, or descendants or sons to take over certain positions at this point in time. And so this is why some of the stuff that we're going through, and this is why I don't take nothing to heart at this time. Just like we testing them and testing the spirit, they testing us. It hurts some of the ways that some of these beings go about it, possibly because they just don't feel like we do. See? We've been here on the earth going through the motions generation after generations, dealing with the trauma, the strife, the joy, the pain. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're going to be different. They haven't had this experience like you. Even when it comes to elevated, it's not the same experience that we had. So there's a disconnect there. Just like there's a disconnect between those that are elevated and those that are in the higher realms or alien or form, you know what I'm saying? Okay? And so it's going to always be like that. Just like there's a division or something between you and your children. I mean, it's always going to be like that. Okay? But I'm saying there's some unbalanced something going on here. And I feel like it's out of spite or somebody in their feelings. I don't feel like it's just, or it's just, again, about like someone striving to be something. And it's like, offensive, possibly in a way. But it's just written. It's gonna come. It's just a come. Yeah, we just got to come through. We just got to come through. And just to figure, when you wake up and you look around, you see, all this was set up to try to throw these arrows against me. Why would I quit now? Even if I'm in here listening to my damn self, why would I stop doing what I'm doing right now? Even if somebody try to tell me, or they want to take this position, or they want to look at it. No. What are you doing? Even if I don't say another word and I say it all in my mind, it's going down. It don't matter. So let's just... And then you think about that triangle that's wrapped around the eye, again, on the dollar bill, and it's saying, God we trust. Well, is God being trapped in that vessel, and then these people are taking that light, which are those rays again that are in the background, okay, and then extending them out? Like, could it be used in a good way and then sometimes in a negative way or a bad way? Like, is this the source of energy, the source that people have been, and now it's, like I said, it's the eye is just like bursting through, leaking through little crevices and cracks in that triangle. And it's just like, oh, we can't even contain it no more. Now what? Now what? And so again, this is what I feel. This is what I feel. So again, at all odds, they're going to try to do what they're going to try to do. But I just don't think that it's going to be possible for you. I don't. So again, they made a cut the head off, right? See, because it's like, how can you survive now if you do, we cut the head off? Shouldn't it just be not? But no, even in that show, The Discovery of Witches, what did they do? They kept that head hidden away in a box, and it was still giving clues to these particular people. I don't know, the monster Gorgon. I don't know why, because I have that book, something of the Dogon tribes, and I have Black Genesis, and I've been wanting to get into them. Y'all, I need like a whole month to get away and just read books. I really do. But the whole thing about, okay, I wanted to look at this image because, again, symbolically and allegorically, and then having your wings still too, so you can fly. But at the same time, these serpents, like, and not to say that serpents are, bad energy. It's just whatever is symbolizing in that moment. I mean, we have the the world, y'all. Listen. This is the same circle that's around that world card. It's more of an oval there, okay, but it has the same little, markings or X's here on the side. And then, remember we said it kind of looked, the reeds or whatever is around that kind of looks like eyes, but it also looks like scales of a serpent, okay? And so, again, this is making me think about don't tread on me, okay? This thing right here in the middle of her head is making me think about a third eye bursting out, okay, or your mind's eye bursting out. I'm also getting here some kind of energy that's talking about, don't tread on me, okay? And I think we did something about Nicodemus and the flag, the gold flag, to be put on a staff or something like that. And we did the video on it. I thought it was a cool video. About Nicodemus, I think was definitely in the title. And I think it had something to do with the brazen serpent. And, I've noticed a story on what was it? Yeah, on the news the other day, I saw a clip about a brazen attack. I wonder, why would they call it brazen? Why would they call it brazen? So then it made me think about, it was a shooting or something that happened in New York. All this emphasis on New York. And then, it just made me think about, like, okay, so again, it says someone must be put on the staff. And, it's making me think about staff, like, workers, chief of staff, even in it. I can't remember who the two individuals are in this text that should be put on the staff. I think like Jesus, or Jesus was supposed to be put on it like another individual. Maybe we'll have to go back to it, right? We might even mentioned it in that video or one of those videos that are pertaining to that. Yeah. And then these serpents also, it just it represents to me almost the world. That connection, not even, maybe even that whole reptilian fight or flight kind of energy, but who put you in it, And it's always, then that make me bring back the Amazon and the Nagas and that type of view or take on the world. And that reoccurring thing, and then again brings back that Amazonian women, is going down type of energy. That even some of the stuff that's coming off as deceptive may one day balance itself out when the truth is coming out. And again, somebody thinks that it's going to play out one way, but once the light is shed, once that light is leaked out fully in this shed, in this hitting, okay, and connecting with other energies of light and vessels of light, it's a wrap. And then when it's dealing with other realms, it's even more of a wrap. So that's why I think somebody wants to get things under wrap. And that's why we're amping up on what's going on with the nothing. Again, this is something like a war of the worlds. And a lot of, I think we probably can't see a lot of it. And a lot of people can't see it for what it is. And some people can't. Some people are being very silent right now. And some people are just still amping it up. Everybody's hopefully doing their part. Okay? So, yeah, let's stop there. I know we didn't even get that. You know what? Let's just read this last piece. Okay, y'all? I do apologize. I hope that this is not, Okay? Okay, where the cedar dwells. Let the inhabitants of Selah exult and shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory to the Lord and utter his praise in the coastlands. The Lord goes forth like and now again, this could be a female today. You understand? Okay? The Lord goes forth like a hero, like a warrior. He stirs up his adder. Now, even look at that. This is making me think about the adder snake. I mean, I know it says adore, but this image also. Now, I don't even know what I was searching for. These images actually just fit in here. Now, we're not saying that this is, somebody may say, oh, that's this particular painting. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying this is or this ain't. I'm just saying the imagery is giving me that energy that I'm feeling here. Okay, that's it. It could very well be pertaining to this. But again, we'll just say the imagery is giving us that feel. Something led us to these particular images here. They were inspired by just glancing at this chapter and saying, I know one image that I want. And then when I went to that image, it just so happens that these were related images. And, again, they were pulled. He shouts out his battle cry against his enemies. He shows his might. I have looked away and kept silent. I have said nothing, holding myself in, but now I cry out as a woman in labor. Okay? So again, a woman in labor. Now again, this woman could be talking about man, woman, and child when it comes to etymology, and it could just be talking about a citizen, okay, or one of the populace, right? Okay, in labor. Now it didn't say that that I am a woman in labor, but I'm crying out as a woman in labor, and that's also reminding me of the earth or the brother's blood crying to me from the soil. You see what I'm saying? From the soil. So this is somebody crying as that. So why, and make me look at that as being in my empress energy, but I got my sword, right? How dare you? It's treasonous in my eyes. How dare you try to put me in a box with anything less than? There gotta be some kind of code. You understand? There's gotta be some kind of code. And if somebody is working this hard, then I tell you what, some of us must be the most powerful people in this land and in this world right now. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because they are scrambling. Things is going on. It's like Cloudy with a chance of meatballs around here. Do you understand? It's almost like I don't want to say magical stuff is going on, but our mind. Grasping and panting, I will lay waste mountains and hills. Are we talking Capitol hills? Are we talking these hills that's acting as though it is the talking, walking mouthpiece for the Capitol instead of letting her or I do my own talking? So we have Capitol buildings in all the states and everything like that. But then what are we talking about when we talk about in DC before it was incorporated? We did something on the Hill too, a while back. And again, people may not like the way I talked about things before, but I don't do it like that no more. And it is what it is now. And you could either take it or leave it. Everybody don't like me already anyways. And I feel like some secretly do. They just don't want to admit it. And so it's going to be what it is. Is it going to change me? Is it going to change the way I view things? Is it going to change anything? The only thing that can change me is source. And how I feel about something. And that's rare. It's almost like, again, that which is in me, if I am in him and he is in me, it's like, do your thing. Anything other than that, then I don't know. I will lay waste mountains and hills and all herbage. I will dry up. I will turn the rivers into marshes, and the marshes I will dry up. I will lead the blind on their journey, but paths unknown I will guide them. So again, this almost seemed like somebody. See, the Lord goes forth like a hero, like a warrior. He stirs up the adder. Okay. He shouts out his battle cry against his enemies. He shows his might. So it's almost like in a dual nature here, because you're going to have your idol doing the same thing that your God is doing right now. So it says, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. Out of the Sheol or the underworld, or out of that. And again, some of these idols have gotten you to sign up for things that got you put right back in. And one may look at it and say, hey, they're already in, or it never ended, because they're not looking at it in that spiritual sense that you are who you are and who you say you are. So again, they may be looking at it like, no, it's your fault. This other energy, like I said, that we were just reading about in chapter 4D, I think, is making it seem like, that is the key. But again, like I said before, if it's saying that being black means that you're dead in the eyes of law, then that means your law, for me, in layman's terms, that means that your law ain't for me. I don't have to go by it now. I don't need to break it. I see it. Most of them I don't even know. But all my life, I never broke them. You see what I'm saying? The ones that's worthy of even looking at it in that fashion. Some of them is kind of ridiculous when it comes to herbs and stuff that grow that people get to put in jail for. When they could be doing something else in society instead of spending time in there. For something ridiculous that's legal in some other states and then not in others. You see? Other than that, I don't even have to know the laws or whatever. I mean, to just not break them. I just know that I'm just going to treat people the way, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to not be stealing, and I'm not going to be doing these things. So, but it already said something about opening up the eyes of the blind and stuff like that. But then now we get to this part when this person said that, I have said nothing holding myself in, but now I cry out as a woman in well, okay, and I lay waste mountains and valleys and herbage. I will, okay. Now right here it says, I will dry up. I will turn the rivers into marshes. Okay, so again, that's kind of like muddying the waters almost to me. So again, if you're streaming, streaming. And that's just what I'm saying. There has to be some form of streaming where this hidden stuff is going on. All right. So, yeah. So somebody's going to then muddy the water. So that means, you go to sleep, and you wake up when you're in this thing and you wanted to elect. Everybody plotting all the time, plotting and wishing all the time. And so, you'll, especially if you're somebody that does things in the public, then you'll realize, oh, wait a minute, what did I say? Because somebody had taken that out of context? No, they couldn't have. Oh, because somebody had altered it. See? So these alterations, so when you have messengers, you have middlemen when it comes to you and God, you better know that the reason why some of this stuff sounds shysty is because it is. Hold on. How long is this video? Okay, we're going to stop at 120. So again, because it is shysty. And because the messenger did muddy the waters on the way to getting to God. And so God could have been offended. And this is just to ruin the chances of some of the elect that were moving in that direction. These people, these individuals, these beings, these energies will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing. They will muddy all the waters to make you look some kind of way so that you can't get your so-called blessing. Or because they want it. Again, smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Again, I'm not here to tell you what it is, what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. I will lay waste the mountains and hills and their herbage, and I will dry up, marshes, and I will dry up. I will lead the blind on their journey. So again, on this side, we're talking about, the chapters, the verses before that is talking about healing and opening out the eyes so they can see. But in this energy over here wants to lead the blind. This one that wants to be like a hero and like a warrior wants to lead the blind on the journey. So they want to keep them blind and lead them on the journey like sheep. You see? Come over here. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just, that Jezebel spirit, right? That enticing tempting of kings and lords and noblemen. That temptress energy. By paths unknown, I will guide them. This is hidden agenda, whether it's good or bad. Now, I'm not saying either or, right? I'm not saying either or. This could be something that's actually going into effect to help someone. The fact that something is hidden doesn't make it bad. It just makes it that particular, it's what's being done in the dark that actually makes it bad. Not that it's being done in the dark. Okay? And make crooked ways straight. Okay? All right? These things I do for them, and I will not forsake them. They shall be turned back in utter shame who trust the idols. Okay? This is Mama speaking. You understand? This is us tapping into that full energy. That real heart. This is, and what we're on 17, this would be the time. I feel this would be the time. Who say to molten images, you are our gods. So again, right there, it just seemed like that's where we're leading to, where somebody is telling these people, what was it in the other chapter? To go ahead and put the plant, right? Okay? To say you are gods with a little g, okay? You who are deaf, listen. You who are blind, look and see. Go back to the video, Thunder. I hate telling people to go back there because it's embarrassing. Because again, I was all up in my feelings. I was deep in this whole awakening. I couldn't handle it. I was trying to run from my own head. But then I had to come back down from that and just stand in it. And then it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. The most fulfilling thing. And it's like, oh, how dare you act like you scared, act like you don't want to post something. What you talking about? And if source and the ancestors ain't got your back, I don't know whose it is, girl. Why you playing? We brought you here to do something. Forget what they talking about. Do your thing. It ain't happening this time. Get it done. Wrap it all up. This is what all the work that you put in all this time. Wrap it up and tuck it in. It's just going down. And I just can't even, I guess it's just a thing. I just don't know. I guess it's just a thing. It's just a thing. I don't know. That wasn't even supposed to come out like that. I ain't even getting emotional, but I'm just getting a little bit elated. Okay. All right, let's stop. All right, y'all. Oh, people probably gonna think I'm, okay. Y'all don't give that to your pastor when you go to church and he be acting up there. Come on now, leave me alone. Okay, let's see. Okay. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf like the messengers I send? You see many things without taking note. Your ears are open, but without hearing. Though it pleaseth the Lord in his justice to make his law great and glorious. This is a people, and now this does have a big spaces in between is a, I feel when it's like that, I feel like there's been other words there. Matter of fact, let's see if there is. Let's look at this one here. What is that, 22? But what a sight his people are, these who are to demonstrate to all the world the glory of his law. For they are robbed, enslaved, in prisons, trapped, fair game for all, with no one to protect them. So again, this is what we're talking about when that, what is her name? Alexandria, I believe. That's the energy I feel like she was in, that they're in when it comes to this moratorium, I think is what it is. What does this say in this Living Bible? And again, this part right here, how deaf and are you towards God? And sometimes I have to ask myself that first, and then I have to ask my higher self that, and then I have to ask myself, what are we really talking about right here? Because sometimes I'm thinking like, man, it's something out there also that you're not seeing. So again, this message could be, again, for me or others. Because I feel like, again, there are like the living God, right? You know what I'm saying? What are we saying? Who in the world are as blind as my own people, who are designed to be my messengers of truth, who is to say blind to the dedicated one, the servant of the Lord. Excuse me. You see and understand what is right, but won't heed nor do it. You hear, but you won't listen. Okay. The Lord has magnified his law and made it truly glorious. Through it, he had planned to show the world that he is righteous. But what a sight his people are. These are who were demonstrated to all the world the glory of his law. For they are robbed, enslaved, imprisoned, trapped, fair game for all, with no one to protect them. Won't even one of you apply these lessons from the past and see the ruin that awaits you up ahead? Who let Israel be robbed and hurt? Did not the Lord? It is the Lord they sinned against, for they would not let go when he sent them, nor listen to his laws. Okay? So again, this is kind of like a rebellious revolt type of energy. But again, the term of the ends of the earth is coming to mind. But what does that really mean? Is that the end of the earth as we know it? Or is that by man? Or is this, again, are we dealing with a living God? Under the guise of, again, another energy here, right in front of your face. Okay? This is why God has put out so much wrath on his people and destroyed them in battle. Yet, though set on fire, they burned. They will not understand the reason why, that it is God wanting them to repent. And again, yes. But again, we're saying here that we're dealing with the Lord, right? And then all of a sudden, no, it starts off by saying how blind and deaf you are towards God. Okay? But then that made me just think about something. Still. Yes. Okay.